It's the first time we're seeing an attack of this scale after the IRGC leader Qasem Soleimani was killed.
After just a short 2-hour flight from Sharjah to Erbil International Airport, we arrived to the dusty Iraq.
So mate, we made it 8 days here in Iraq and I cannot wait to explore this country.
Many people probably think why we chose to go to Iraq, and our answer is that we wanted to see a different side of it, experience new culture and meet new people. Therefore, we decided to book a tour and go for it. We will release 2 videos from Iraq. In this series, we will explore Erbil, try new foods and gonna see wonderful nature.
Though it exists in Turkey, but in Iraq, like suppose it's like one of the national foods. Yeah. Go. So let's go. It can be sheep, it can be cow, or like something like that.
We met the wonderful group that we'll be spending the next 8 days with, and we went into the city to explore.
We ended up in the local cuisine restaurant where we had dinner all together and really enjoyed every taste of Kurdish meal.
After this amazing dinner, we entered the Directorate of Herbal Antiques, where we saw a bunch of old, antique, vintage items that have been dug up just behind the museum. We were told that there was much more to be dug up, but that they were afraid to dig it up because there was no space left in the museum to store these artifacts. Shortly after this, we traveled to the Minaret Park. Here we saw the old minaret of Erbil, and we saw a replica of the citadel. In the park, we met a really nice local who showed off their traditional clothes.
After visiting Minaret Park, we headed to Old Erbil train station, which currently is not in use. This train station was taken apart around 70s because military needed more iron to produce ammunition. At the moment, this place is used for shooting movies.
After the quick stop at Erbil train station, we got to see the beautiful Jalil Khayat Mosque, which was built in 2007. The architecture of this place was truly stunning and the colors blew us away. This mosque holds around 2,000 people every Friday for prayer.
In the afternoon, we headed to the main spot, Herbal Citadel, which was added to the list of World Heritage Sites since mid-2014. Settled more than 6,000 years ago, Herbal Citadel is thought to be one of the longest continuously inhabited sites in the world. The citadel is located on an archaeological tell rising around 90 feet above the plain and surrounded by a lower town that developed into the modern city of Erbil.
So since 7,000 years. So 20 years ago, government decided to renovate the citadel. So there was people living here until 20 years ago. Normally people like, it was a normal neighborhood, like normal residential area, people living in it. So then government compensated the people and like gave them land to build their house out of the citadel.
In the heart of the citadel, we visited a UNESCO center containing a museum. We learned about its and Erbil's history. We were shown a map of the citadel which can be seen when flying above Erbil. We got to listen to some Kurdish folk music and entered a cafe shortly. Here we were served some Iraqi coffee and tea and got to relax for a moment. The citadel used to house people even before Christ. Now there is only one family living in it and they take care of the whole citadel. There are only 3 entrance gates leading inside, which were all restored at some point. In 1960, around 60 houses, a mosque and a school were destroyed due to being uninhabited. Instead, now we have a majestic road connecting the north and the south gate.
After visiting wonderful citadel, we headed towards Bazaar of Erbil to get some food and then explore the bazaar itself. We entered one small restaurant and ordered some local food. I got myself a kebab, which later became my main dish for the entire week. After a super tasty meal, we went to explore the bazaar, just south of the citadel in the center of town that was first established in the early 13th century. Shoppers will walk through a maze of narrow paths between the shops underneath a roof with corrugated metal. Many shops offer chai as a complimentary drink with good business from the local tea vendors in the bazaar. It is very popular prior to festivities.
As we were walking, a local salesman stopped us and gave us a lot of different baklavas to taste. They were really good and we ended up buying a whole box, which we finished later that night.
After bazaar, passing through the main square of Erbil with fountains, we ended up in the small shop where you can buy a real gun.
We show up in the party. We show up in the party.
We were lucky enough to visit Erbil when the local football team was playing. This team plays in the Iraqi Premier League and the Kurdish League. They are nicknamed the Yellow Castle, and as you can see, the stadium and football kits are both yellow. The stadium holds around 35,000 people, making it the 3rd largest in Iraq. Herbal FC is the first Iraqi Kurdish team to qualify for the Asian Champions League and the Arab Champions League.
In the evening, we went to a very new district of Erbil called Empire. We had a dinner there and then went to very unique alcohol shop which had very expensive drinks. Next morning we left Erbil and went to visit Khanzad Castle, which looks just incredible. This castle was built in 16th century during Soran Emirate under the rule of Princess Khanzad and her brother Princess Suleiman Beg. As well, this castle has kept much of its original shape.
After this, we headed northeast towards the Sherashoir Monument. This is a monument dedicated to a fighter who participated in the liberation of Jerusalem from the Crusaders during the rule of Commander Salahuddin Ayyubi. After exploring these tanks and getting to stay inside them for a while, we headed even more northeasterly. Here we saw the Jeli Ali Beg waterfall, which is named after Prince Ali Beg of the Soran Empire. We can see this waterfall on the 5 dinar note.
Later we stopped to have lunch and guess again what I have ordered. Of course, a kebab. Then we headed to famous Hamilton Road. Hamilton was the principal engineer of a British-built strategic road across southern Kurdistan, which ran from Erbil through Ravandis to the Iranian border. The road became known as the Hamilton Road. Although Hamilton hoped the road would unite the peoples of the region, it has been fought over many times.
Our next stop was the city of Ravandis. This was the closest we got to the Iranian border the whole trip. As we approached Ravandis, we saw a huge change in landscape. The striking scenery is the main attraction of the city, as it is out of this world. We continued up the mountain to the Korek Resort. It is a ski resort during winter, but as we came during the summer, we got to use the zip lines and roller coasters.
So guys, that's it in part 1. Iraqi Kurdistan is really an amazing place with so many things to do, but main thing here is nature. So now you can enjoy the cinematic views, and we will catch up in the next episode.